to Psychic Holistic Spotlight. I'm your host, Josie Way, and this is Psychic Holistic Spotlight. You didn't get the wrong station. You've got the right station. I don't know.
And introduce her.
We have a lovely guest tonight, Samantha. Shea.
Yes.
Good job.
I have a lot of little gray crinkly spots that are that have to come in together and go eek.
It's okay, you brought it together. You did it.
Brought it together, you did it. Yep.
It's fun to get older. I have someone to play with. I could never play with my sister. Now I can play with her.
Nice. So Samantha, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah.
Hello. So I am an oncology nurse that then switched over to entrepreneurship of the world. I am a shamanic practitioner, a soul alchemy coach, where I really support people in becoming aware of their fears and bringing compassion to them. Really learning to love themselves, their gifts, tap into their own inner medicine. I merge different healing modalities with that, as well as...
I want to interrupt and just say, could you mention some of the modalities that you use? Because there are lots of different ones that people use, and there might be one here that no one's heard of.
Oh, yeah. So my business partner and I, we call it limitlessness, because we know that we're all limitless beings. So I personally mix like integrative energy therapy, which is IET, and so that's connecting with the angels and the different organs in our body and emotions. And then I also incorporate Reiki, different shamanic practices, like connecting with spirit animals, like we spoke about earlier.
That, my favorite.
Yeah. And I work with the different organs in your body, so I just connect with your soul. So that's a form of my own modality.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like something I've heard, but it sounds like something that occasionally I found myself doing.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I work with a lot of the elements, so with earth, fire, water, air, ether. But my biggest modality, I guess, is just working with the individual person and seeing what it is that they need, and then to help shift if they have pains or any anxiety. I do a lot of trance work too, where I bring people into a deep meditative state, because I also do regression hypnotherapy.
Okay.
So they can connect inward with them and tap into their limitless medicine and energy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, you're taking your medical training and now taking it and using the holistic arts to put it through. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And it's really cool because if people are on medications and stuff, and I know. And I know whatever diagnosis they have, which really helps me, and then I find what the root cause of that was, whatever emotion it was, limited belief, past life, ancestral trauma, and then to help repair the disease in the body.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I've always said that we were blessed. We had holistic medicine. We were blessed with scientific medicine, but scientific threw out holistic. Now holistic was coming back in, trying to throw out the scientific, and I said the combination is so powerful.
Yes.
And I'm so excited because I've got a lot of nurses and stuff wanting to learn Reiki and hypnosis and some of the therapies, so I'm very excited about the two being combined.
I think the word augment is really most appropriate, where we can take each thing and use it.
Yeah.
Right.
Not abuse it.
Yeah, because there's so many resources out there, but we're not aware of them. And we're not aware of how powerful we are as human beings, and that our spirit is always running through us. And we've kind of been disconnected from body, mind, spirit. Right, when it's really one. So when we have diseases in the body, we have to look at the emotional component, right? We have to also look at the physical component, the spiritual component, and the mental component. And I feel like merging the worlds really helps look at all those components to bring a person into like taking their power back, like, oh, I can heal myself, like, or I can be okay with having this disease, but doesn't define me, which is important because like I was diagnosed with cancer and I felt like I don't want to share that with anybody. I was like, oh my God, because I worked in it. And then I was like, wait, no, this is a gift. So let me see what the root cause of me getting this is and heal it. And I was able to do that, and I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's
I
really
did the
cool.
same thing.
You did?
I used both hypnosis and Reiki. I've taken IAT, I've taken everything, but mostly I used Reiki, and that I was a tumor on my ovary, and they told me it was 99% cancer, but they couldn't tell.
Yep.
I had to have a drastic hysterectomy. And I said to them, but can I still climb stairs? Because at the time my shop had 16 stairs that were this high.
Yeah.
And it was the funniest thing because the doctor looked at me like I just said the word cancer to her, and she cares about the stairs and how fast she can walk up them. So they had me go through a thing to decide how they were going to do it radically, and they had me go to the guy that the tumor board, and they were talking about it on a Friday, but they postponed it and just checked something else. And I did the healing work on the Wednesday, and he goes to do the tests on me, and it's shrinking. Yep, and then it took 10 months to get rid of it completely, but it spiked, and then it disappeared, and I was the talk of the tumor board for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing with cysts.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah, it's so cool. Isn't it cool? Yeah.
And that's why I really had to like shift out of the nursing, because I was like seeing everyone's everything before even working with them. And I would get like, you know, when they were going to pass that date, like specific things, and I was like, this isn't right. And then I would just look at someone and see what was happening, and then I had to give them that wasn't gonna work. So I became very like depressed, and like I felt like I was separating from my soul.
Oh, wow.
So I had, you know, what we call it dark night of the soul, but like for a while, until I realized, what is this world out here, right? Like, why are we really here? Like, what is this life? Because it can't just be this, this, and this, and then we die. It can't be.
No.
And then all of a sudden I was introduced to energy work, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
There's this whole world out there. And it made everything in my life click of why I felt certain things, why I had knowings. Like, then I was introduced to all these beautiful people and like this, you know, that care about the non-physical reality. And I'm like, this is what healthcare is missing. Like this component.
No.
Because it's you can't really describe the feeling until you feel the connection when you connect to source, right? Or you connect with your love or guides.
You can't have enough tools in your toolbox.
No.
You can't have enough tools.
No.
So when I do Reiki, when I go on the head, usually grandmas, because grandma's my favorite title, grandmas come and they say to me, do a lot of work on the third chakra. She needs to get her personal power back because she had childhood trauma or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I know exactly where to head, and I use all that stuff, and it's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
And I love it because I'm watching these students come in and they're opening up like that, and a lot of them are medical. A lot of them are medical.
Yeah.
Counselors, nurses, you know, all that kind of stuff, and it's so great to see what's happening.
It's beautiful. I love that you do that. Yeah, that's exciting because I work with a lot of nurses too. I work with all age groups and people, and it's just really beautiful because it all comes down to let's reconnect you with your spirit. And everything it's like all these puzzle pieces. And it's funny because people are like, it's not happening fast enough. I'm not connecting fast enough. And I'm like, well, that's your ego. That's the part of you that has caused you to be anxious or depressed or wanting to be in control. It's like, so let's befriend that ego, right? See where the fear is, and let's show it love. Let's appreciate it. And then people are having these major changes, and they're like, oh my God. Like, I feel more alive than ever. Like, oh, this is so exciting. This is why we're here.
And it's crazy. I have a Reiki circle that my Reiki master did, and it goes from Singapore around. It's huge. And some of the people that have just been on that, just the intention, and go on that, that's absolutely incredible. I had a woman, her grandson was going to have brain surgery, and the best scenario was one side of his face was going to sag, and the kid was like 14, so you know how that was. And you know, nothing. We put him on the Reiki circle and had everybody around the world praying for him and,
The power of love.
sending beautiful
Yeah.
energy, and it was just incredible. He ended up absolutely perfect afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a beautiful thing.
And that reminds me of like, so something I learned, I'm also a trauma-informed coach, and a holistic coach.
Oh, that's an excellent thing to add in.
Yeah, and something I learned is it's really hard for us to heal or to feel true joy when we don't feel safe in our body. And a lot of people are like, no, I'm safe. And then, but they're afraid to speak up, right? Or they're afraid of doing certain things. And then, so they start to realize, because you just need a shift in perspective, start to realize, like, maybe I do hold myself back, or maybe I don't feel fully safe in my body, because our nervous system, our aura, extends all around us, and it holds the memory of all of our lives, but it also connects to the collective, right? Whether that be trauma or that be love, right? And trauma is just an energy. It's not like a defined term, right?
Right.
And so what's been really beautiful is to have people see and connect with I have people imagine a color. Well, first, I have you connect with your higher self and say, what is my safe color? What is my safe color? And then they get a color and they move it through their body. So whenever they feel anxious, or let's say you're working with somebody and you can do that with them, right? Like tell them what's your safe color? And they bring one in. All of a sudden they're allowed to tap more into their fears. They're allowed to see their traumas or limiting beliefs. And it doesn't have control over it. They can actually like see them, witness them, and love them more, which is really cool. Because then when you have, like you were saying with your cysts, right? You can also bring that color to that area, so you're providing that safe love to that area for the root of whatever caused that cyst to come up, right? And a lot of us don't realize that our nervous system doesn't feel safe. So we're detecting energy all the time around us. And so when I took the trauma coaching, it helped me understand the nervous system, which healthcare doesn't teach us.
No.
Right? And then spirit teaches us, but not to the depths of how actually magical our bodies are as humans. And when we feel safe in our body to connect to self, like everything gets a little bit more peaceful. And it's fascinating.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I just
And
brought that
I got to
up,
tell you, I love the fact that you talked about the combination combining mind, body, and spirit together. I'm a very mind and spirit girl. So when I took my shaman apprenticeship program, she introduced us. She was an incredible lady. She introduced us to all the healing arts. So I got introduced to Reiki. And somebody there says, oh, you got to try this Reiki master in there, and Narragansett, she's fabulous, blah, blah, blah. So I went to her and I said, I'm just taking it to try it. So what I found is all of a sudden when I took the Reiki, I found that my channeling and my mediumship went from here to here.
Yep.
Because I was combining mind, body, and spirit. And it was absolutely incredible. So when it leveled off, I had told her I wasn't taking any other. I said, no, I want Reiki 2. So then when it leveled off again, I said, now I want Reiki 3, but she liked to teach it in one class, the masters. And I got her to split it up. She goes, in 6 months, you're going to say masters next. And sure enough, I did.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And I said it was incredible because I just found that it did so much. And now the teaching of it does that for me. But it's because I was not putting mind, body, and spirit into it.
Yes.
And it made a huge difference.
It does. And that's where somatic therapy comes in. So somatic therapy is just like connecting you with your body, right? And like loving. So I sprained my knee in January and I was like, all right, why? What's going on? Like, what's the root of this? And I held my knee, and I was brought to 14 years ago when I was in a car accident. And I couldn't emotionally process the trauma at that time, and the entire dashboard had came onto my knees. And then I became really like mad with the medical system and all that after. But it had to reoccur in my knee to heal that trauma, because I was stuck. Part of my spirit was frozen in the car, in the crash. So I went over and I talked to myself, and I was like, hey. So I was connecting with my spirit stuck in the car while holding my body.
Beautiful.
right? So it's just like, it's so beautiful. I just love this work.
And if I'm doing table work, I started to do a meditation with the chakra clearing, angels, clipping cords for them, because I draw empathic people, so cutting the cords and stuff like that. And it's great because, again, you're putting all three of them together.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it works, yeah.
Because then they can feel the shifts.
Yep. And I had a client that asked me to do that, and I'll always be grateful to her because I didn't think to put them together like that. And after it happened, it was like now it's an automatic thing that I do.
See?
And I have monthly clients that come in and they want both of it, but I have to call it something different because they don't want hypnosis, they don't want meditation. So
Yeah. That's what I call soul
What do you
work.
call it?
I do something like that. I just tell them I'm just getting it. I'm getting to talk you to leveling off your energy before, so the Reiki will work 10 times better, and then it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of people try and define themselves from labels. And then they're like, oh, I am this, I am that, I am this. And I'm like, well, you're also spirit, and you can do everything I'm doing if you allow yourself to go there. And so it's like what you're doing, there is no title for it because you're just connecting to like your love so they connect to their love.
Yep.
So that's why I call my stuff alchemizing, because
Perfect.
yeah, you're just shifting the energy of it to a higher vibration.
And when I'm doing table work with them, I call it Reiki because that's what people know now.
Exactly.
But I'm shifting into 900 modalities at the same time.
Shapeshifter you.
Yes, yes, I am a shapeshifter me, yep. One of my favorite things to do. I like to fly.
Oh yeah, so do I.
Yeah. But no, it's a beautiful thing. And what results since I made those changes. You know, I was staying in the categories at first, and when I made the changes, it was a huge difference. So I'm so excited that you do that combination. That's really excellent.
Yeah, and a lot of us, it's hard for us to trust other humans with things and to ask for support, you know? And so when I was referring to earlier, when I was just like getting really depressed, I was like, universe, if there's energy out there that's here to support me, like bring it in. And that's when I started connecting with the non-physical, right, with spirit guides. And my shamanic teacher, she was like, always set the intention to connect with a compassionate being.
Yep.
So I don't believe in like negative or evil energies because that's just not, it's just
I say
not
that
in
I
it.
keep my energy so high that I don't recognize them.
Yeah.
I don't want to deny someone that somebody's sure that they have it. I just don't recognize them because I keep my energy up here. So
yeah, and if people come to me that are in these dark spaces or feel like they have attachments, because I don't necessarily believe fully in it, I think that we develop our own fears that then build into these, we'll say, negative attachments. I can really help them shift their perspective around holding compassionate space for whatever maybe that attachment is, and then it goes away. So it's like a form of cord cutting.
And and that is a form of cord cutting. And a lot of time they can have earthbound spirits that are just trying to help them let go, or they don't realize that they're dead and they're courting. I've had a lot of women that are being courted by an energy. Do you know what I mean? So you just have to clip the cord and send them up. You know.
I'm like, what are you doing with her? Huh? What's going on there?
My daughter had one, and that's how I learned about it. I called my shaman, and he was very respectful. Like if she was in the shower, he would just run his finger up, like kind of sexy. And she was staying at a friend's house, and come to find out, the doctor that lived there had passed away, and he had never had anybody in his life. He had polio initially, and then his parents were very kept a circle around him, and then he did become a doctor, and there was like a flu type thing that went on, and his immune system was not that high, and he passed in the house, and she stayed overnight in that house, and we found out this all afterwards. But the parents showed me the house, they showed him, and I said to him, you need to go on the other side, and I had the parents help him go up. But it was just like the finger and stuff like that, and I've had many women that have had it since, and they totally don't realize that they've passed. So that's usually the attachment. People right away try to go into the devil incarnated at them and that kind of stuff. So you have to tone it down and get them where it is. Yeah.
More or less, from my experience, the people that I've encountered are looking for their own way. They're trying to find their way.
Yep.
And they do a little piggyback ride, you know?
Yep.
But they say, let's see if this little path works.
Right.
And they're just trying to find their way in a very confusing world.
And I do let the people know that your white lighters that are watching over you are so much stronger than anything that's coming at you. You just gotta disconnect and you're free, and then it heals so much.
And this reminds me, I wasn't going to talk about this, that's for sure, but it's so relatable to what you're saying. Spirit's like, see if you go to. So in 2020, I went to, are you guys familiar with the Conjuring House?
Yes.
So I went there, we stayed overnight, I was with my family, and Bathsheba, who's the woman, that spirit was stuck there. The children in the house and all the spirits in the house were coming to me a few days prior, and they were like telling me their names, everything. I'm like, who are these people? And then when I got to the house, they showed me exactly how it was set up, 'cause it's different than it is in the movies. And long story short, Bathsheba ended up, her energy, I know it sounds weird, I mean, look what we do.
Nothing's weird.
Shifted into me. And I didn't know. So 3 months later, I started having ovarian stuff, cervical issues, started having really bad GI issues. And I was like, what is this? And then I went in, and then a year later, I got cancer. And I was like, what's going on? So when I connected with the cancer, it brought me back to the Conjuring House to connect with Bathsheba. And I was like, who is this? And she showed me the entire scenario, but she said, you were a compassionate light, and I just needed to cross. I was tired of being stuck, but I knew you would find the way. And I was like, whoa. So it made my whole perspective of fear and like lower energy shift even more, that everything that's fear-based just needs love.
Absolutely.
It's wild.
Absolutely.
It needs the light.
Yeah. It needs the
Yeah,
light.
that's
Sometimes
what
we're that light. You know?
Yeah, sometimes we realize we're the one that's being used,
Yep.
you know, to illuminate someone.
Perfectly said.
What a gift.
It's a beautiful gift. It is a beautiful gift. 'Cause I love to go to haunted places and hotels and stuff.
Oh, you do? I do.
Yeah, my husband isn't fond of it. So I was laughing one time. I went there, and I love the flappers. I think watching the 20s flappers is just wicked exciting to me. And I said, so we went to this place, and every time when they tried to redo this place, the doors kept coming open, and they said the flapper was there. So I got my husband to stay, not telling him what was going on, but then I did on the way there, but I didn't do it before we were on the way there. So we get there, and I want to connect to this flapper, do you know what I mean? And there was beautiful artwork in the thing. We get there in the hallway, and I'm telling my husband's in the bathroom, going to the bathroom. The main door is like cocked open, and he goes to me, Patty, knock it off. Patty, knock it off. And I go, I'm in the hallway looking at the artwork. He goes, then what's happening here? What's happening? His chain was being pulled up and let go of. She liked to play with men, so she wasn't playing with me. So I was there, but she could give two hoots. So I never leave myself open when I go to sleep, especially in a place that isn't protected by me. And I got to tell you, it was a beautiful gift that I did get from that, because I kept myself awake. And I ended up channeling, dreaming this healing garden, a gift from an old boss of mine that thanked me for some work I did, and gave me this gift of the healing garden. And it's how I became known in hypnotherapy, for my healing tree and this, and I've used it thousands of times since.
See, it's all a gift.
And it was all a gift. But I never got to see the flapper. I ended up sending someone else that had died in there up, but I didn't get to play with the flapper. But she kept playing with my husband.
I love
and he
that.
was like, what are you doing to me now? You know what I mean? Bringing me in.
Yeah, because when I went to the Conjuring House, the kids wanted me to cross them over. But then the guy who was running the house at that time was like, no one pretend that you're a shaman and pass our spirits over. We like them here. So I just went like, no, because I was like, okay.
I had somebody that did that, and I had to explain, you're not letting them recycle.
Right.
So now
You're
he
trapping a
lets me-
spirit.
Yeah.
And then you're bringing everyone in that's just adding more fear and heaviness to the space. So you're trapping the spirit.
I have to bring something up.
Yeah.
We're almost done.
Oh, this went so fast.
Yes, it went fast.
Yes.
So we want to know how we can contact you.
Oh, beautiful question. So my website's Branches of Vibrational Healing, and so it's branchesofvibrationalhealing.com. I do everything remote, but I have a space in Massachusetts, and then on my website, it shows all my modalities, all of the services. The main
And are you on Facebook at all?
Yep, I'm on Facebook, Samantha Shea.
Okay.
My Instagram is Soul Alchemist, Sam Shea.
Oh, cool.
Just type in
I
Sam
like
Shea.
the name, Sam Shea, and you'll find you.
Yeah, Sam Shea.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Spirit
Beautiful.
detective.
Yes.
Yeah, literally. Alchemizing
You didn't
spirit
know we were
detective.
going into this subject.
Yeah.
That's right, my cup of tea. We actually went to lads' school this last year and cleared the area. That was a school that they had children with defects.
Yeah,
and
I
a
love
lot
that.
They did electronic stuff and everything, and I'll tell you about it after.
Yeah, please do. I love this stuff. It's exciting.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and who knew it was here?
didn't even know.
None of us knew.
No. Yep, didn't know that's what you were talking about.
You know, and
I
you're
had no
going more
intention of
than-
bringing it up.
Me either. I
And you're
just stay
going more
present.
than half your life and saying, what have I been doing?
Yep. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Well, because we're born and we have amnesia, and then all of these conditions start coming in. They become our own until we're like, wait, something needs to shift. So
Did they wrap it up already?
No,
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure, because I was going to tell the
we
story.
have 3
we're 3
minutes.
minutes now.
Oh, okay. So,
Okay.
I do this on my own show, too. So I will tell you the story. At lads' school, there was a doctor there that did the electronic. When I talked to him, he was fine until I brought up the electric stuff, and then he wouldn't talk to me anymore. And there were 2 nurses there, and there were a lot of kids. We sent up a lot of energy. There was like 12 of us there doing it. And this nurse was there, one of the nurses was there protecting those kids, and the other nurse, she always showed me her doing this lipstick like that, and she was just looking, So somewhere in there, somebody said, which nurse is there? And I said, the Hoochie Mama nurse. And the doctor spoke up and called me a bad name. They were partners.
Yeah.
And the fact that I insulted her, he stuck up for her, and it came up on tape. He got a recording of it. So it was pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah, the first time I did table tipping, my grandmother came through, and I had said something, and then she shook the table, and right then I was like, never make a remark like you did, Huchimana, right, towards spirit, because they don't like it. And
No.
that's when I realized, I was like, wow, judgment, that's a form of judgment. And that's why all of us are afraid of being in our truth, because we're just always judged.
So I'm helping lead this group, and I'm the one that did the judgmental statement, and I got called a very bad word. But I got a big kick out of it, too. I thought it was great
yeah,
when he
it's
had the
funny.
recording and stuff like
Oh,
that.
I would have been shivering in my shoes.
No, I enjoyed it. And it was so funny, the kids up in the trees and everything we released, it was beautiful.
That is beautiful. That's why my business is a big, beautiful tree with rose quartz hearts hanging from it.
Oh, nice.
Because I have people imagine going into the tree and up to the etheric world or down into earth and
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to come see it sometime.
Yes.
Yes, I'll find you on your
My website.
yeah.
Sam Shea, babe.
Sam Shea. Sam Shea. We'll find Sam Shea. Yes, so
Just
that's
follow the
excellent.
hair.
Follow the hair. I'm matching hair.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
So,
Okay.
30 seconds.
yeah, 30 seconds.
Well, thank you for joining us,
Thank you for having me.
and we'd be happy to have you again.
I would
Yes.
love it. I loved it. Thank you for letting me be the co-host. Because
Yeah.
I totally enjoyed the session.
Yeah, this was great.
Yes.
And that's the power of just being present, allowing whatever chat needs to be chatted about.
Because
Yeah.
that was crazy. I never thought that topic would come up.
Nor did I.
Nor did I know you were involved in it. Now I'm really excited.